Hey guys, MrPokke here, or Kai, and it has been around 9 months since I've made the last video about the day I quit my full-time job. And it also has been 9 months since I became a full-time streamer as well as a content creator, right? And I figured what better time to make this video regarding the end of 2024 is that a summary of what I've learned, the pros and cons of quitting my job. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. First of all, being the current situation. So how is my situation ever since I quit my job in the finance industry around the March 13th of 2024? Am I homeless? Am I broke? Did I spend all my money on gacha games? They're all in red. Fortunately for me, I have been doing very well, much better than I would have ever imagined or hoped for. You know, between the streams on both Twitch and YouTube, the long and short form content, building a community across Discord and Twitter, sponsorships between the different companies, I would say I am very comfortable. So let's just leave it at that. I'm also starting to look into getting my own place in Singapore within the next few years, and that has somewhat of been my end goal, not just in content creation, but basically in life, right? I just wanted to own my own place, especially because in Singapore, it is ridiculously expensive to ever want to own a place, especially if you're under the age of 35 and you're not married. My daily routine hasn't really changed that much ever since I quit my job. So I'll wake up around late morning, do some back-end stuff, go to the gym, come back, stream, sleep, and the cycle just kind of repeats itself all over again.
Damn Nocturne's Parent Simulator on my screen right now.
Maybe I take a day off occasionally here and there, or if I have to go overseas, or if I have to go for a military reservist, then it is what it is. But my passion for streaming and content creation, I would say very little has changed. And if anything, I'm even more passionate about streaming nowadays, right? I'm looking forward to what 2025 has in store, considering how much that we have accomplished through the past 9 months. Now that being said, there is something that I will touch on this, but a little bit later. So I'm just gonna move on to the next part, which is going to be my community, right? So the community has grown tremendously ever since making that video where I quit my full-time job. You can see over here, we have grown to almost at 150,000 for YouTube as well as 100,000 for Twitch respectively. Basically more than doubling on both platforms within a short span of 9 months. And looking back at it now, honestly, it's pretty diabolical because I was never really that much of like an achievements or a numbers guy. But then now that I look back, I'm like, wow, it's actually pretty impressive. I do like to have this moment for myself a little bit, right? So that's gonna be that. This does signify that, if anything, I have in fact made the right choice of quitting my corporate job in Singapore, as well as just pursuing streaming and content creation as a full-timer. And I am definitely deeply grateful for this essentially once in a million opportunity, because everybody, playing video games, yapping to strangers on the internet, and doing this full-time while making a very comfortable living, it quite literally sounds like a dream job, right? And I will always be genuinely forever grateful for this.
Try to sing around. Feel the beauty of this world. Always shine.
On this note, I could not be more thankful to my viewers on both Twitch and YouTube, right? My editors who has helped me to manage my YouTube ad, my mods for keeping chat as well as the Discord community tidy, my executive account managers, for managing all of the different gacha accounts, my oilers for oiling me up, the various content creator and companies that I've met along the way, and of course my mom that has basically been my silent pillar of support for the past 9 months. And in fact, even longer than that in my entire life, right? So that is that. This is of course by no means a standard set of rules and like procedures that will basically happen to any aspiring content creators if you're thinking of becoming one, whether you're a streamer, YouTuber, TikToker, etc. And it genuinely has a lot to do with being at the right place at the right time with the right amount of preparation. Now, being at the right place at the right time, that is basically up to the universe to decide, right? For me, it is essentially just about preparation. So I just try to play the games, right? I play the games that I enjoy, I make the content for the game, having the personality, try to be engaging, talk with my audience, create a community, etc., etc. Aside from these preparations, everything else, and I would dare say these are like a very, very key part of being a successful streamer, right? It is basically up to the universe. And once again, I'm very, very thankful that I can be in this opportunity. All right, going forward into 2025, I'll definitely make the best use of my time here, right? Giving you guys the content that you guys want to watch me for. And to those of you who are watching this video right now, thank you for being my viewer, and I am proud to be your streamer. Right, so that is that for the community, and now let's just jump into a little bit of the content itself, right? So this is kind of like a summary, or rather what I feel that I've done in the past 9 months and what I'd like to do going forward into year 2025. So like I said, I'm extremely grateful for the way my channel has took off in both Twitch and YouTube, because one of my biggest fear back then was tying myself down to just Honkai Star Rail. This is the exact problem that I mentioned in my very, very first video, that I was just scared that my entire career is just going to be dependent on a single game. But luckily for me, it looks like we don't really have that big of a problem when we want to branch out to different gacha games, right? Wuthering Waves and Zone Zero, when it launched, we make a hell of a lot of guides, hell of a lot of content, stream the game a hell of a lot. It was very, very good. Aside from that, we also played a couple of the new releases, right? Ananta, NTE, when Art Knights Enfield, the trailer came out. And finally, of course, I will never forget my Sabaton, which is, in my opinion, probably the best period of this entire year, right? We played games like Elden Ring, Sekiro, Doki Doki Literature Club, League of Legends, shooter games, PoE 2, horror games, all this kind of stuff. Black Myth Wukong, the absolute goat of it all, and many other games throughout my entire 9 months, while still maintaining, I wouldn't say the best, but decent viewership enough for me to, still keep the lights burning in my house, right? So that's gonna be that. Most of my stream, as well as the content, they do revolve mainly around the gameplay, right? Meta discussions, patch updates, tier lists, along with some of the reacts as well, the drama stops along the way, right? I also have a clip channel now, right? This clip channel kind of started around the same time I quit my job, alongside with TikTok, and they are just like a little pet project of mine, where we are just doing random things on stream, just clipping them and posting them up, right? So almost essentially fully ran by the community, so it's a quite chill, little happy place. And on that note, I would say about 90% of my content for both my main channel, my clip channel, my TikTok, all that kind of stuff, they are directly taken from my streams and then edited by my lovely editors to kind of summarize it and package for my viewers to have a better viewing experience. Now, I feel this formula has been pretty successful for me, at least for myself, making the best use of my time both on stream as well as off stream, so I can basically double dip while streaming and making YouTube videos at the same time, right? So this is also kind of like a throwback to Ludwig, where I reference him basically teaching his viewers try to always have a stream objective of turning it into a YouTube video. This was back in my very first video, so I'm glad that this has worked out very nicely for myself. Generally, as you guys can see from like kind of my YouTube history for the past couple of months, I have essentially pivoted away from like the CN guide guy, right? The CN translation guy, and especially so with the launch of the creators early access servers, right? For both Zone Zero as well as Honkai Starbucks, which I feel very privileged that I can be a part of them. So now I basically get to do my testings without relying on CN 1 week before the unit actually released, and things has been turning out very well. I would say so myself, right? So I would still think that the main game of my channel, specifically YouTube channel, it is still going to be Honkai Starbucks, right? And this is the game that sparked my passion for content creation in the very first place. All right, one could quite literally say Honkai Starbucks made my entire career. So I love the game. I love everything that the game stands for. I love making content for the game, and I don't think this will change anytime soon unless something crazy happens in the next couple of years. Going forward into 2025, I do expect the classic rotational content for like the main gachas, basically HSR as well as Zone Zero. Updates for a couple of the new gachas, right? Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, and they're also playing some of the new releases, right? There's gonna be Ananta, Enfield, and whatever new gacha games that may come out in the future, as well as dabbling a little bit here and there in variety on my Twitch as well as YouTube streams, right? Did it even change the flavor of the ramen, by the way? Absolutely fucking insanity. I do see an uprise of more and more gacha games, specifically Ananta and Enfield, because the quality that they've shown in their trailer as well as the gameplay footage, especially in Enfield, it seems to be very, very promising. Aside from that, banger titles like Monster Hunter Wilds, GTA 6, they might be coming out next year or the year afterwards, so I definitely need to learn to manage my time a little bit better while still juggling all of the stuff that I've been doing in this current conjuncture of time, right? I may or may not start a brand new channel completely unrelated to gacha games, unrelated to gaming, and it's just going to be an IRL channel. That might happen. We'll see how that goes, right? So for my content in 2024, I think it's been an absolutely fantastic year, and I will be looking forward to 2025 and see what they have to offer, right? And on a side note, this low-key feels like a shareholder meeting, basically explaining to my board of directors of like, what am I doing with my company, right? So yeah. Okay, anyways, speaking about content, I kind of want to talk a little bit about this point, which is like the war, the drama, and with the whole racism, Eastern, Western, CC, Genshin, Impact 5.3, Wuthering Waves War, at least at the time of this recording anyways, I don't really think there's ever like a wrong type of content or like a bad type of content, right? Content is content, basically, right? It really just depends on what type of audience that content is appealing to. And looking back, I've had my fair share of like war and drama videos, and frankly speaking, I don't really regret making any of them. They're pretty entertaining, right? They bring up discussion within the community, and it shows me as the creator what type of demographic am I going to be attracting. And frankly speaking, I would also never know if these type of contents are suitable for myself if I never tried. So definitely no regrets there. But that being said, I've had two very different epiphanies. One from after I came back from my military reservice, and two from the very, very recent version 1.4 patch with Zenless Zone 0. So for the military one, I felt that life was very, very short, and it was too short trying to appease the people that didn't matter enough for myself. So I felt like after the whole reservist thing, I wanted to speak my mind a little bit more. But the second epiphany, and frankly speaking, the more impactful one, and it's very, very recent, it happened during Zenless Zone 0 before when I was playing Miyabi for like the past 10 days, right? So on one hand, I do love playing Miyabi and all of the new Zenless Zone 0 content, and on the other hand, it has been quite a while since I've played Zenless Zone 0 this much compared to games like Honkai Starbucks or even Wuthering Waves for a matter of fact, right? So it does feel like almost like going back to a new game where I haven't been hands-on with it for a while now. And the general vibes that I've been getting for like the past couple of days, especially the last 2 days, it has been very chill and a very different environment. And frankly speaking, it was quite nice. It was kind of like hanging out with the boys, right? You're just like playing games mindlessly, talking about literally anything. Like we're talking about life, talking about finances, talking about like anime, it was very, very interesting, and it kind of brought me back to the extremely early days of streaming, where I was streaming to like less than 100 viewers, and we're just basically chilling, yapping, then we just play like Simulated Universe or like Memory of Chaos, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, I do feel that I myself, as well as the more mature audiences that I have in my channel, they can have a nuance and we can hold like a discussion for these kind of topics. It is the unfortunate reality that there will be chatters that are more immature, right? And while it is inevitable that they will exist in any part of not just like gacha games, but basically anywhere on the internet, they would be more drawn towards the content that they find it more engaging for them, right? And there has been a shift in mood as well as the vibes in my last few streams to like a more chill one, which has led to less of these chatters in general, right? So as much as I find like drama and war, I think they are very entertaining personally, but I do think that my responsibility as a streamer would be to shaping my chat the way I want my chat to be. And my experiences playing with Miyabi for the past 1 week, past 10 days, past couple of streams, in contrast with like the more war era stuff, I do like this pretty chill chat. Unless it comes to meta discussion, then I do like a sweaty chat when it comes to meta discussion, right? So that's gonna be that. Know what I'm gonna say, but I ain't gonna say it. right? I want to play the game. I want to discuss the meta, but I will also, watch things that unfold around me, especially since, as a Singaporean, you're pretty capo, right? Pretty capo, you want to see everything. So, unless warranted, I do hope that 2025, it will be a more chill year, at least one for my channel, right? So, whatever is going on right now, the whole Eastern CC, Western CC, Genshin War, whatever, hey, I wish them all the best, right? Absolutely. Just a little bit of talk, I guess, about finances. I wouldn't put like a exact figure on this since, I think I'm not sure if it's like just Asians. I think we're pretty sensitive about finance itself, but let's just say I don't intend, no, I don't think I would ever need to return to Korba ever again with my current trajectory. And as someone with a finance background, and I think just generally speaking, I'm quite frugal, I don't think I spend a lot of money on a lot of things. I'm what you would say like a pretty low maintenance person, right? I generally save and invest close to 80 or maybe even 90% of everything that I earned for like the past 9 months. Basically just try to secure my future. And I think my biggest expense so far this year would be the PC setup, which it's still crashing because of the stupid ass internet, but it is what it is. My trip to the US, as well as sometimes I do splurge on food if I were to go out with my wife face out, right? So it's great. But that aside, I do believe that financial discipline is a extremely important habit as well as a mindset to have, not just as a streamer, a content creator, but basically any kind of self-employed individuals, no matter how successful or how big they are, right? I do feel that being a streamer, being a content creator, it kind of feels like running my own business. And what I do with this business is gonna pretty much affect me for the rest of my life. I don't really see this as just like turn live, hoo ha ha, and then just let it go, right? Because at the end of the day, maybe more so for streamers specifically, I personally feel that this career, it has a shorter trajectory compared to most of the other self-employed or other like business ventures. The term fall off, it is a very real term, in my opinion. And it is inevitable when new streamers, new generations of viewers, new games, new content that comes out as time goes by, it will always start to overshadow the older crowd and the older generation, right? People grow up. They don't used to play the game that they used to play. And then the younger crowd, they probably won't even play the game to begin with. And unless you're somebody that just constantly plays the new game every single time, and even that has a certain caliber of like a barrier to entry, because like, you can't expect like a 40-year-old guy to start playing Genshin Impact, right? I mean, you could, but like, I haven't really seen it. So that is kind of my point. I would like to just basically make the best of the spotlight that I've been fortunate enough to have shine on me for the past couple of months. And hopefully when I eventually do fall off, it's not a question of if I fall off, I do believe I'm going to fall off eventually. I can basically by then just happily retire as like an unk and just do my streams to like a couple of villagers that will still turn around, right? And as mentioned earlier, I'm also hoping to get my own place within the next couple of years. And in Singapore, housing is one of the most expensive things you'll ever find, especially if it's not the government subsidized housing, right? So I don't necessarily feel the need to move out because me and my mom have a very nice stable relationship going on, but it's more so of proving to both myself and my mom that streaming as a career for myself has been a very successful one, to the point where I can actually afford my own house within Singapore. It is more like a testament beyond than just the physical house itself, right? For 2025, with regards to finances, I don't really see any major changes aside from maybe my first Japan trip. I'm going the first time in 6 years, so that's gonna be great. And maybe going back to TwitchCon again, right? Meet the boys, meet Tectone, meet Box2, and I think that's also pretty fun, right? But unless my PC explodes, or like 5090 is like crazy good, I don't think I'll be splurging that much in 2025, and I'll just continue doing whatever I'm doing, right? So that's that. And now I want to just kind of touch on the final segment of the struggles I've had. Actually, specifically just a single struggle I've had being a full-time streamer or content creator for the past 9 months. And this goes back to the very first point I made at the start. I do think that I focus way too much on content for the entirety of 2024. I basically wanted to do nothing but to push, record, stream, make more videos. We do like 3 videos a day. I think now for the past couple days, like 4 videos a day now, like the shorts and everything. I just want I just want to keep pushing out content. It might be work ethic, it might be chasing the bag, it might just be my obsession for streaming, maybe it's my obsession for gacha games, I don't know, right? But whatever it is, I do acknowledge that it is not healthy, right? I broke up with my long-term girlfriend. I lost in touch with a lot of my local friends in Singapore. I barely even see my mom nowadays because by the time she goes to work, I'm asleep. And by the time she goes to sleep, I'm just ended streaming, right? So the only time I will actually go out to touch grass, except for like the very, very few times I actually meet my friends, it will be basically go to the gym. And I do believe that improving my physique is still a massive, massive important factor for me in my life, right? Maybe only second to streaming. And I do feel that after I end stream, my social battery just kind of like get drained to like almost zero. I just don't really want to do anything. I just want to lie back in my chair, go to my bed, just scroll through some brain rot and then just go to sleep. So I quite literally do not have the social battery to socialize, especially after I end stream. Then before I end stream is like the afternoon and all my friends are working, so like it just doesn't work out, right? So it is what it is. I do struggle a little bit to find some time for myself to just chill and give myself that time needed, because I feel like there's always content to be made at every waking moment, at every single day, every single week, every single month. As you guys have seen from now, with Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, Honkai, Starbucks, who knows what gacha games coming in the next couple of months, there has just been so many things to cover that it is quite literally impossible to say there's nothing to cover. And I feel that it cannot be more true for somebody that wants to push out content, because I feel like if I just don't stream for this one day, what if this one day something happens and then, oh my god, I could have just streamed it, I could have made content of it, right? So I find it very, very difficult to stop, be it the new patches, the new units, the new gameplay, or even just like hanging out in my chat, just having a chill stream and just talking to chat, discussing about anime, weeaboo stuff. I will also honestly like do that. So I constantly feel the need to just press go live at least for like 6 hours and make content. And this is also tied to kind of my initial thinking that I think streamers, content creators in general, their career has a shorter trajectory. And I feel like I need to make the best use of my time in this current spotlight before it goes away in a few years. And who knows when that's gonna be, right? It's also somewhat similar to my friends that work in investment banking, where they'll just hustle really, really hard for investment banking, right? They do like 1 billion internships, get into investment banking, work there for like 1 or 2 years, have zero work-life balance, sleep in the office, do work 24/7. But then after a while, they will get to pivot into private equity, which means they will get to retain most of their investment banking salary while still getting a much better work-life balance. And I think that is something that I'm feeling as a streamer. Go all in, especially during the time that you have now, and then eventually when you do fall off, you can just kind of chill and then just do, you know, whatever it is you want to do, right? So that is that. Looking back at it, I feel that the way my relationship ended, I think it was definitely the right choice, because I know I would definitely make a very, very horrible partner with the current trajectory of my life, my current goals, my current priorities. It is still content and streaming above everything else. And then second place is basically gymming. I actually would not sacrifice gym to like go out with people. I would just rather go to the gym, right? So thankfully for now, my health is still really, really good. I barely fall sick, maybe a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So there are not a lot of drastic downsides except for the social aspects. So going into 2025, I'll definitely try to find a better balance, but frankly, I'm not too sure if I will be able to, right? Considering the number of gachas right now that I'm playing, as well as all the new gachas that are coming out, and who knows what other things would happen in 2025. So we'll just see how it goes. But in short, my biggest struggle is quite literally wholly overworking, right? Alright, so that would pretty much be my life as a Singaporean streamer in 2024. To kind of summarize everything, I think 2024 has been an absolute banger and wholly overworking. And I will be looking forward to another amazing year with all of my viewers that are watching this video right now, right? So that's all for today. Let me know what you guys want to talk about in the comments below. If I have any questions I could answer, maybe next time we could do it in another video. But yeah, these are kind of other things that I wanted to address out of the way before we end off the year of 2024, right? All the best for your life, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Happy 2024, happy 2025, happy New Year.
Oh my god! We're bombing Glenn! We're bombing Glenn!
Who want to do this for you first? Which is, you mentioned... What the... I think this kills. Chat, I think this kills. I think this kills. Looking good. What the As long as Jingyuan lives, we win.
Hey, MrPokke, fix your f***ing game.
And now. What the?
So it's fine. This is a basic.
随我冲阵，雷霆在此。
Okay, I don't mean.
Are you?
Orders come.